And we are going to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we are. Guys, welcome to the Y Podcast. Let me get comfortable. It's your boy, Cricky D, live and direct. I must say, guys, the hair today is really not doing well. No, last week I was telling people the curls were coming, but this week it's just really not doing well at all. I don't know what to say other on my hair, but last week was cool. So last Friday we did the podcast, but something amazing also happened. Very good friend of mine works in YI Down Patrick, Sarah Nellis, brought me and my mate Matt a boojum. Isn't that class? I thought that was amazing. Thank you, Sarah, if you're watching. Johnny Ewan is trying to call me right now for the question off the day, but we'll get round to that in a wee second. Sarah, thank you for the boojum though. Guys, you're super welcome to the YI podcast. Should we just dive straight into our question of the day then? And our question of the day today is, what is one thing that keeps your mind well during the lockdown? So this week's mental health week, guys, looking after your mental health. And I think there's just a good question to ask, because there's a lot that people do to kind of keep their mind straight and to keep it well. And to keep your mind straight and well is actually a really important thing in today's society, especially throughout lockdown. But I do have a few people on my list that I want to call. I think I gave one of them away. And we'll see what they have to say. Let me just search their names. John. There he is there. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, here, dude. I called you just to make sure that I had your number and clicked like call by accident, and it's like, oh wait, we're not ready to start, and then you started calling, but we're live and direct. Johnny Ewan from YI Dairy. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So Johnny, we're asking a few YI staff members today. Our question of the day is, what's one thing that you do to keep your mind well during lockdown?
For me, it is twofold, but each morning I'm working, I get out early and I go for a bit of exercise. And I bring my son with me as well, so it gives Catherine a bit of a breather.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that kind of keeps my head going. I usually have music in. Actually, that's a lie. I usually have a podcast in to get me thinking and someone talking to me. And then every so often I go for the music.
Ah, that's cool. You know, I really like the idea that you're bringing your family and exercise both together, really, and also to give your wife a good break as well, dude.
Definitely.
Definitely, 100%. Okay, Johnny, thanks for taking our call today, dude. You've been amazing. Well done.
No problem, sir.
Yes, catch you on the flip side. Goodbye. See ya. Okay, so Johnny likes to get a wee bit of exercise with his son, Josiah, his name is, and listen to some podcasts. You should listen to the YI podcast, Johnny, whilst you're doing your exercise. If you're watching this back, dude, it's super important to do. Well, we'll go to someone else. We've had this guy on before, but he's such a legend. I thought I'd have him on again. Bless me, it is super dusty. It is super dusty in my living room right now. Okay, so this guy's Guy Hume from Ballynahinch, very wise man. We've had him on before, Mr. Andy Hewitt. Hello.
Great.
What's up, Andy? How are you?
Hello, mate. You alright?
Yes, mate. Welcome to the YI podcast. We're just asking people our question off the day today. What is one thing that you do to keep your mind well during lockdown? Do you have a good answer for us?
I've got like 3 good answers, mate.
Okay. Fire on ahead.
So what keeps my mind well? For me, number 1 would be the great outdoors, and I love just a wee bit of getting out in the fresh air. Gives you a bit of time to think and just enjoy the beauty of creation. A wee bit of exercise as well, I suppose.
Yep.
So living out in the country, there's plenty of country roads and there's no traffic and very few people. So that would be definitely number one on my list probably.
Yep.
Do you want me to keep going?
Keep going, dude. Oh, honestly, keep going.
I like a good wee sort of Netflix thing, So I'm watching The Last Dance at the minute, which I'm sure you know about.
Yep.
Loving that. Just that idea of watching high level sport at its absolute best and athletes at their absolute peak. Like, I'm not a massive basketball fan, but that has to be said. That documentary is superb, man.
It's
So
great.
loving it.
Yeah, it's not like those rugby documentaries. They wouldn't be any good.
You're talking about a real man's game there, pal. Have to say, So,
okay.
So those would be definitely a couple of things, and for me as well, just getting time on my own time with God is a good thing. I think for me that puts everything in perspective, and recognizing that God is God and He's in control, and ultimately, I suppose my life is in His hands. So that those would be kind of for me what keeps my mind in the right frame of mind.
Hey man, Andy, that was a good one. God, you gotta keep God close to you in these times,
Absolutely.
And especially with mental health. It's important to turn to God in those
connected.
times.
It's all connected, man. I think
all connected. Amen. Absolutely. Okay, Andy, thank you for coming on and giving us some of your wisdom.
No bother, mate. Good to chat.
Yes, I'll be speaking to you soon. Okay.
Cheers, Cricky.
See you. Bye. Andy Hewitt. Absolute legend. Likes to watch a little bit of Netflix. Andy is a wee bit on in his years, but he is young, I'd say. But watches Netflix, likes The Last Dance. I love that documentary as well. I think I'm on episode 4, so I need to continue watching it. Also to get out and about. I think that's a key one for people, is to get out and actually get out of your house, for a little while. Social distance, permitted though, guys. And then spending some time with God. That's also a great one. Okay, down to the last one. We're going back to Lisburn. I don't think we've been to Lisburn in a little while since Rebecca came on. But we're going to Mr. Lilly, and we'll see what he has to say. Ryan's a good dude. He always has pearls of wisdom. The phone is ringing. Hello, Ryan.
How's it going, mate?
It's going well, mate. Ryan, welcome to the Y podcast. How are you?
Doing okay, thanks.
Doing okay. So, Ryan, we're asking people to answer our question off the day today, and it's what is one thing that you do to keep your mind well during lockdown?
Well, something that really kind of gets me down is whenever you're just going from day to day, and it feels like you're just doing the same old, and you're not really, doing anything different. So I'm like a real task person. So what I'd like to do is to either do something different or make a list of things. Yeah. And then it means that whenever I'm finished, I check things off. So if it's in work, I'll maybe set myself a couple of tasks, making sure I've got them completed. And then at least at the end of the day, I can be feel like I really did something, and then I feel good about myself. Or if it's in my free time or if I'm off, try to do something a wee bit different. Maybe watch an episode of a new TV show, or maybe play a new game on the PlayStation. Try reading a book or something like that, just to do something a bit different. So at least I can say, well, even if I didn't do a huge pile, at least I tried something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool, dude. I like your to-do list. We all know Matt Brennan, who lives with me, and one thing that I think is class what he does is every single day he just writes a list of things that he's going to do, and then just ticks them off. I think to-do lists are super important.
I think sometimes as well, just that wee thing of on your phone, if you've got reminders or a checklist, just the satisfaction of just clicking that you've got something done or a wee tick beside it. I find that pretty cool.
Yeah, that's class. What new games have you been playing, Ryan?
New games. So for my birthday, which is a wee while ago now, I got a game on the Switch called The Witcher, which I think people played about 5 years ago, but I've only got to it now, which has been pretty cool. It's a wee bit Game of Thrones like.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So,
I've not played The Witcher myself, but I've definitely heard good things about it. I've recently downloaded FIFA onto my Xbox. I was a wee bit late to the game. I usually don't like sports games, but for some reason FIFA just clicks with me. So I'm currently ripping up in the championship with Derby County.
Not very realistic then, is it?
No, it's not at all. It's not. I just beat Tottenham there.
I'm only joking.
I just beat Tottenham there last night, 3-1 in the Carabao Cup. So I was happy enough with that.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, bro, thanks for coming on, Ram. You're awesome.
No problem. Thanks, mate. Talk
No
to you
worries,
later.
dude. See you. Bye. Okay, so three different perspectives, I think. Johnny getting out, have his son, Andy watching a wee bit of Netflix, turning to God in this, and Ryan playing some games, making some to-do lists. And what I will say is these guys are all great men of God and have God at the center of their life, which is amazing. These are guys that I would look up to in my everyday life and things that I'm doing. So take note of what they're doing. If you're stuck for something to do, guys, you can absolutely you can go online, you can look at things, you can ask a friend what they're doing, because I think to do stuff really does, to achieve something really does boost our mental health. And when you're locked down, you're staring at the same four walls. It's important that you can actually use those four walls to achieve something amazing. I've been setting some of my Wired lads. I've been the lads that I work with, the 11 to 14s. I've wrote them all a letter this week, and I've set them all a task of cooking dinner for their parents, or at least just doing the dishes. And that's something that you can do to achieve something, to boost your mental health, because you're doing something for someone. And that's pretty cool. Some of the things that I like to do, Matt is amazing at calling me out in this. He just recognises days where I just need to get out. I need to get out of our flat. Our flat is quite small, and he just be like, just go out for a walk. And I would go for a walk, and it'd be good crack, and I would listen to some High School Musical, and just chill out and relax, and kind of get out to it. I do like 3K, and relax and chill. So get out for a walk. Remember, if you're out with some friends, so social distance, 2 meters, all times. Just do it. Don't be that person. Just do it. Okay, so last week, we'll move on. Last week we had a What is Cricky Doing? I thought it was an easy one because I was singing a particular song during it. If anyone guessed that I was washing my hands, you guessed correct. That's an important one, is to wash your hands every time you come in from outside. And it should be 20 seconds long. And if you want to know what 20 seconds is, sing Happy Birthday twice. And that's why I sing Happy Birthday to you. I thought that was a fun one to do. This week is a little bit harder, so it is. And you might only get it if you know what I'm doing. It is just a tough one, but I wanted to really test people. Listen, it's really tough at the beginning. Gets a little bit easier. Think about what those sounds are that I'm making. Here is this week's What is Cricky Doing? I'll play it one more time. So I personally think that's some distinctive sounds. I think if someone was to put this up and I wouldn't know what it is, I'd be able to work out from that last bit what it is. So what is Cricky doing, guys? In the comment section below. And actually, I forgot to tell you, you can answer a question of the day in the comment section below. QOTD, give us your answer. And then what is Cricky doing? And give us your answer to what it is I'm doing. You might even get a praise. We'll see what the crack is. Okay. We'll move on to our very last segment, one of my favourite segments. It's our uplifting story of the week. I was scrolling through BBC's uplifting story section, and do you know what? I didn't find a lot. Like, there was uplifting stories, but just none that I could really understand and be like, oh, I don't know. But did find one at the end. And I'm gonna. This is quite a long one, so yeah, I'm just gonna like paraphrase kind of what they're saying. But the title of our uplifting story this week is "Couple Stage DIY Wedding in Their Manchester Flat." A couple whose dream wedding had to be put on ice due to COVID-19 lockdown decided to take matters into their own hands with a do-it-yourself ceremony. Beth Davis and Peter Duncan, so she will then become Beth Duncan, transformed their lounge of their two-bed Manchester flat into a church. The bride wore a homemade dress made from a queen-size fitted bedsheet, and the couple exchanged vows to one another. Beth and Pete hope to go and do it all again next year in front of 175 guests. It was supposed to be the best day of our lives, and it was going to be really sad, Pete told BBC. Oh, aye. And we didn't want that. So, they're saying the day that they were meant to get married was going to be very sad, and they said that they didn't want that. So having a wedding at their home turned into one of the best days ever. I think that's class. I know a few couples now who've either had to reschedule their weddings. Well, all of them have rescheduled their weddings. But I think that's something that couple did that was actually really good. Lockdown is tough on everyone. But I think what this couple did was they seen something that was a dark cloud and turned it into a nice bright cloud. And it kind of, I think that fits in well with our mental health theme this week, that there's things in our lives that won't go to plan, and that's okay, because God ultimately has a plan for our lives. And those little dark clouds that kind of take over for what were meant to be amazing clouds, you can ultimately change them back into good clouds. The nice sunny day. Those days are dark, you can turn sunny through doing things. And again, that can just be through helping out your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or if you're married, your husband or wife, and just make every day special. There's definitely things, and Matty B's cringing when I'm saying this, but there's things that he does for me in our everyday life, and it might just be taking my slaggins that make my days happier. Isn't that right, Matt? He's sitting across from me right now. Producer Matt just nodding. So there's things that you guys can do to help each other out, just like this couple did. They brightened up their day, and that's amazing. Okay, we'll call it close there. Guys, you guys have been awesome. I hope you have a great week. I'm off all next week, which is class. There's still going to be a Wild Podcast episode on Friday, as I have a wee half day on Friday, which is cool. But I hope you have a good week. Set some goals, achieve them. Even if it's just getting dressed, or doing a piece of homework, or cleaning up your bedroom. Set yourself some goals, and I hope you all have a great weekend, a great week, and I will see you next week, guys. But other than that, over and out, brown trout. This has been the Why Podcast, and I've been your boy, Cricky D.